Yaddle Chattle.
It's a Star Wars podcast, baby. That's what this is. A Star Wars podcast hosted by yours truly, baby. Darth and David, the number one Sith in the galaxy. The Sith who's going to bring the pain. The Sith who's going to bring the joy. I can't do this show alone. The show needs to continue. The show is gone on live on a Friday. And with me, as always, the co-host of Yaddle Chattle, ladies and gentlemen, Jedi Jared.
Hello, everybody. As you can see, things are a little bit different today.
We are not in the room for the first ever Yaddle Chattle in history. That was because we had to do a last-second change of plans. We could not record the show on our usual day of Thursday because I was notified by my job, by my real job, 95.9, the WRAT, the number one rock station in New Jersey, where for 32 books in a row, the Dave Man has been number one. How about that, Jared? How about a little fucking applause and enthusiasm? Just because you're not sitting next to me doesn't mean I'm not going to be on your case.
Okay.
I see this. I know that you're not sitting next to me, and now you're sitting, in a different part of New Jersey, as I'm in New Jersey, and you're in a different part. I swear to God, you better bring the fucking pain and the thunder today, baby.
I told you I would.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I had a party to attend to. It was an impromptu last-second party. I called up Jedi Jared. I said, listen, can we bump back the recording till Friday? Because I have an opportunity to do day drinking and flirtations with women's. And the summer of Dave has begun, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, boy.
I had put myself on a bit of a recluse. I like to put myself into mandatory isolation. I treat myself like my own prisoner oftentimes.
You spent the last 2 years like Yoda on Dagobah.
Yeah. I like to do a self-imposed exile. If I can do it in a swamp area like Yoda, maybe have a nice diet of, snake and frog soup, the way Yoda was good at making. But I've decided it's time for Darth David to get out there to mingle with the human society, to talk to people, including people who might be female. Ladies. Right, Jared?
Yeah, we could use that for the dating profile.
What Dave profile, Jared?
Oh, I'm going to set you up with a nice little dating profile.
You're not doing that, Jared.
And
I am not being on fucking Tinder.
You could be on Tinder. You could have multiple dating
By the way,
profiles.
why do you need to set me up for a Tinder account? Like, you think I'm that fucking stupid that I can't set my own goddamn shit up?
Then set it up. Make it happen.
Because that shit don't work.
It does work.
I can't imagine that anyone's going to be swiping on me or I'm going to be swiping. And then what do? You swipe and you're like, hey, I think you're hot. And then, ooh, I think you're hot too. And then, hey, I'm swiping more. Can we fuck? Is that how it goes?
I don't know how Tinder works.
I find those websites to be very seedy. What?
I don't know how Tinder works. I met my wife on OkCupid.
OkCupid?
Yes.
What the fuck is that? I've only heard of Tinder, and I thought in your case, isn't Bumble another one?
No, I was on, first I started on Plenty of Fish, and that was like a complete disaster. I mean, this is 7 years ago now, but I met my wife on OkCupid, and we've been together for almost 7 years, and we've been married for almost 5 years. So, and we have a child together. So they say about 20, probably post-pandemic, it's closer to 30 to 40% now of people meet online now.
What do? Hi. You DM someone? Hi. I think you're cute.
No. That's what you don't do. You got to send them something that's going to make you stand out. Because
like what?
You got to ask them like a hypothetical question that will, get a conversation going.
Nah. I'm going to get drunk at the bar. I'm doing it the old-fashioned American way. I'm going to get liquored up at the bar and start dating very seriously the first drunken floozy I meet.
Oh, my God.
Now, and trust me, there were some nice ones in Belmar, New Jersey yesterday.
And okay.
Dave Man got some numbers. I'm doing this shit the old-fashioned way, not the fucking Jared. I got to do plenty of fish because I thought you had some other like website that you used to go to.
No,
like JewsLikeJews.com or something.
No, I never used JDate actually.
JDate, yeah.
Never used it.
You didn't use that?
No. In fact, I was actually tempted to use JDate right before I met my wife.
Who is a non-Jew?
She is a Gentile, right?
A Gentile.
Yes.
Yeah. I couldn't really see you with like another Jewish person because I just think it would you wouldn't get along. You and Sarah Silverman would be at each other's heads.
Oh God.
Jesus. You know, that's see, I knew it. What is with the coughing, you fucking all right, listen. We got a ton of Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen. We have to get right into it. It's a lot of Star Wars. Star Wars Celebration was this past weekend, and we had massive announcements. We're gonna hit them right now. One by one, talk a little turkey, do some fun, hit the Mandalorian episode that just happened that I personally thought was utterly spectacular. And then we're going to close this fucking show up. And it's going to be a good one.
Now, Dave, what do you think is the best news of all? Now, I think for you, it's got to be that the Bad Batch is ending on season 3.
Yeah, well, we'll discuss that. I'm going to do the fucking real announcements first.
Okay.
3 movies, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1. Okay, this was the big announcement that everyone was, in fact, hyped about. By the way, motherfucker, do you remember that
I was wrong. I'll admit it. I was wrong.
Wrong about what?
About the movie announcements.
Okay. We discussed last week on the air, Jermaine Lassire, G-Baby, made predictions where he said multiple films will be announced. Not only did Jared, live on the air, disagree with G-Baby, you said there would be 0 announcements. You said absolutely none. Well, you could have been more wrong, you stupid fuck. What do you have to say to you for yourself? And will you ever doubt G-Baby again?
Probably.
What? Everything he said had turned to be true. He gave a list of goddamn 10 predictions that we read off. Every single one was accurate.
Do you think maybe he might have gotten some kind of press release before Celebration?
Having said that, that's why I went with what he was saying, and I wasn't a stupid fucking moron like yourself who was disagreeing with him for some reason.
Well, okay, so let's dive into the movie thing.
Okay, listen. 1, 2, 3. First, number 1. We're gonna do this in order, motherfucker. Did you see the show prep email? It was laid out beautifully.
No, you never sent it to me.
Oh, all right. Good. I'm glad I keep you in the dark. You with the friends. I'll send it to you right now. You don't really need it, bro. I have it on my fucking phone.
No,
Here it is.
You didn't send it to me.
I just did, jerk. Rey is back. New movie 15 years after episode 9. I'm not familiar with the director, Jared. She's a woman that I don't have a ton of literacy about, film literacy about. Do you know who the woman is? Who the director of the new Rey movie is? That's A. B.
No.
What?
And B, as far as the Rey movie goes,
let's chop it up. Let's talk about it. What are we thinking?
That's the one I think that will. I'm 50-50 on whether it's actually going to get made. Like I know that they've made this announcement. But how many other movies have they announced in the past before?
You're right about that.
That haven't come to fruition.
Well, let's then discuss that. Let's not throw that out there. With Trank had a movie pulled for him. Colin Trevorrow was going to do a movie. He backed out of that.
He was supposed to do 9, and then The Last Jedi came out and screwed everything up that he was trying to work on.
Yeah, he wasn't going to make a movie that had just killed Luke fucking Skywalker, and I can't blame him. This is why I say don't kill Luke Skywalker ever. They didn't need to ever do that, and they could have kept the movies exactly the same had they just simply kept Luke alive. The movies would have been much, much better. But regardless, you had Trank, you had the fucking guy. We're not going to talk about all the details. Let's just talk about the people. Who else? The Legos?
The Game of Thrones guys.
Game of Thrones.
Ryan Johnson was supposed to have his own trilogy.
True. All right. So now it is adding up because that's like 5 different people.
Patty Jenkins.
Oh, Damon Lindelof. Holy shit, that's like 7 or 8.
So like for me,
that's 7 or 8 projects that we've just mentioned that were formal Star Wars announcements that have all been shelved, despite Kathleen Kennedy saying that Rogue Squadron and a couple of these other ones might see the light of day. There's no way in hell Patty Jenkins is doing this movie. None. Not after the second Wonder Woman was a massive flop. And as someone who personally saw it, one of the shittiest superhero movies I've ever seen in my life. The graphics were something out of 2001, but in fact, I've seen movies from 2001 that were executed far better than Wonder Woman. Just a total piece of dog shit. So I have no problem taking that fucking thing. I thought the first Wonder Woman was vastly overrated.
Really?
People, yes, it wasn't that good.
It was excellent.
People are they're overhyping these fucking comic book movies.
I will agree to
that.
It
was the same thing that happened with Black Panther. I thought I was getting set up to see the fucking 10 Commandments or some shit. And I was like, okay, this is good. I like the movie, but motherfuckers, you had me thinking this is going to be the greatest cinematic experience of all time.
I actually 100% agree with you on that.
All right, it's not Marvel Channel. Back to Rey. Why don't you think this will occur? Do you know who the director is? Or is that something that, all right, I'll look up the director. You fucking talk to me about why you don't think this is going to be successful.
Well, I think it also ties into the other 2 movies that were announced at...
No, but concentrate on Rey. You said that it's 50-50 whether it's going to get made. So why?
Because the sequel trilogy has left such a bad taste in so many, like, not only hardcore fans, but casual fans didn't like it either. I mean, you talk about diminishing returns all the time with
people liked episode 7, though. What if episodes 8 and 9 didn't happen? And basically what they're going to try to do is say, you know, people did like episode 7. Rey was an iconic character from that film. And people left that movie theater happy. That you're right about that. That's the last time people left a Star Wars movie theater, and mostly everyone was excited. What if this is their attempt to say, look, listen, we can't fucking pretend that episodes 7, 8, and 9 never existed now. They're an important part of the canon and the legacy. But in order to move on from that darkness, let's try to get the Rey from episode 7 back with the spark in her and this and that. She's setting up the Jedi Council. Do you think that's a decent idea?
I mean, it's possible, but who's going to be the bad guy then? Because, you know, if she finally like channeled all of the Force and got rid of the Sith completely now, and the fact that Palpatine never died, or they cloned Palpatine or whatever
they should never kill Palpatine. That, you know, the guy's an icon. No, I mean, fucking, you don't fucking kill goddamn Jason. You don't kill Freddy Krueger. I'm okay with keeping Palpatine somewhere. Even still after episode 9, we have cloning machines in Star Wars. We have different ways.
If they clone Palpatine again, it's just another cop out. Like, there needs to be a new bad guy.
They have, listen, we'll discuss it when we go forward. They have their bad guy. Moff Gideon is the bad guy of that universe, but he is the baddie. The director of the Rey movie is Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy.
I've never heard of her before.
You've never heard of Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy?
No.
Okay. So
what's her
I'm not looking up more shit, motherfucker.
Okay.
Did you come in with any show prep at all?
Yeah, I watched a bit of Celebration.
He watched a bit of Celebration. So you watching YouTube was you doing show preparation.
Well, I saw the trailer for the other stuff we talked
about. All right. Let's go into number 2, second movie.
But can I just finish my point? Like,
yes,
the Rey movie is the one I least have the most doubt that it'll actually be going into production.
I know you said that. Why?
Because I think the fans, there's no demand for it really.
I just told you I'm not opposed to Rey movie. I told you what I thought they should do though. It should have been a Finn movie.
I think someone actually wrote an article about that.
I was but you know me. I have been on this fucking thing. I have the Finn movie. Ladies and gentlemen, you want the Finn movie? Here it is. Bob Iger. Listen to me. What happened to Finn when he was a little kid? He was only a baby and they fucking took him. and he was kidnapped and forced to become a stormtrooper. Now we're going to have Finn, fully realized Jedi, go out there and get kids, rescue kids and teenagers and young people who are force sensitive, okay, and who are being hunted down by some unknown Sith-like entity. And you could have that be the whole entire Finn movie where he is fucking just saving kids. It's mission after mission. It's a lot of fun. It's like several mini movies almost of Finn. Basically, this is what I want. The part of Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom where pretty much it's the mind sequence and Indy saving those kids. We're going to do that on 4 or 5 different planets. You know, we'll do we'll do that 4 or 5 times, different kind of cool locations, aliens and all this shit. And bam, you've got your Finn movie. And I know Finn would love, I know John Boyega would be up for this. That's what they should do. Having said that, maybe I was thinking this Rey movie starts that. The Rey is what they're going to do out of the gate. And then please come to Davey Mac and do my idea for the Finn movie. Because I also have a Poe movie where he'll be doing he's an X-Wing pilot. And what we're going to do is take the Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron idea, shift it over to Poe, give him an X-Wing movie where he's cleaning up all of the remnants of the Empire. And it's just going to be a straight up kick-ass World War II fucking X-Wing movie in space, in Death Stars, in fucking on the planet, underwater, whatever the shit. It's going to be the ultimate X-Wing movie. And then we combine Finn and Poe and Rey together. My idea, though, was to have Rey last, and that Poe and Finn and another character would all get these standalone movies, and then they would search for Rey to help, to ask her to help them, you know, go against a really huge maleficent force.
I think you're partially right of where they're going. I think that the next movie is going to be Rey and Finn.
So you think the Rey movie, she'll be by herself, but
no, I think that's going to be Rey and Finn.
So you think Finn will be there?
Yes.
Okay. I would have then announced it as a Rey and Finn movie. It was Star Wars Celebration in London. Not only is Daisy Ridley English, but John Boyega is. And I think that would have sent the place over way, way more. Because there's still some friction, if not straight up animosity with John Boyega and Star Wars.
Well, I think that's the other problem too, is that like they've got to make it worth his while to come back. Like,
that's why I say give him his own movie. Make him out to be the Jedi Master that I had envisioned for him. Now,
envision that.
All right, second movie. James Mangold, the new director of the Indiana Jones 5 movie, Dial of Destiny. And this is one that I'm very much looking forward to.
But I they aired the trailer at Celebration.
Yeah, with the Rolling Stones, Sympathy for the Devil underneath. I thought that was cool. Go ahead.
I thought I think Disney thinks that it's an excellent movie. I think they think it's going to do well, and that's why they're giving him a Star Wars film. I'm
excited for that. For as an Indiana Jones freak, I am very excited for that. I can be honest with you. But sounds like it's actually there is no but. Sounds like it's pretty cool.
And he's doing what I've always said. He's going to the origins of the Jedi. All
right, yeah. So let's talk about what the movie's about. It's a biblical epic about the first Jedi and first Sith. Do you like this idea?
Oh, I think it's brilliant.
This is all that you've been wanting. They say that this is going to be maybe set as far as 25,000 years in the past.
And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he talks to Filoni and Lucas, and he does it the right way.
Okay.
I like James Mangold. I like the Logan movie. Like he did the second one, the Wolverine, and then he did Logan. I mean, he's a really good director. I'm looking forward to Indiana Jones 5, and I'm gonna look forward to see if if this comes through with Star Wars.
Okay, fair enough. Number 3, Dave Filoni will get a movie, a feature-length film. The showrunner of the Star Wars Clone Wars animated series parlayed that into running Rebels. has parlayed that into contributing on live action with the Mandalorian, where he's one of the creators along with Jon Favreau. Parlayed that into getting his own series with Ahsoka. And apparently they like what they see with Ahsoka, because he's now been announced that he will get a movie that will connect the Mandoverse together. That it will be the culmination of the Mandoverse. And it's, interestingly enough, Dave Filoni and not Jon Favreau, he of the Avengers fame, getting the movie, getting the chance to direct. Does that surprise you?
No.
Favreau, though? No Favreau.
I think Favreau wants, and this is something that's interesting, and I wanted to pick your brain about this, was Favreau says that he could do the Mandalorian forever. Like, it could just happen and happen and happen and make more and more seasons as long as they're willing to produce it. And yet it somehow seems like Disney wants to have some kind of cutoff date or ending with the Mandalorian if the
culmination
is supposed to be like the culmination of
that. Is interesting. Yeah, that's weird. I think that they used the wrong word. I'm hopeful that Disney simply used the wrong word in culmination and said that's really not what we're doing right here. Because I agree. I don't know why you wouldn't want Jon Favreau producing more and more Star Wars television for your important streaming service. He wants to do it for years and years and years. Why limit him and say, okay, John, only 2 more years, because then we're doing the Mandoverse movies? No, I would think that you could keep that around, and that could be an asset for the Mandoverse movies. But I did think, is this a reflection on maybe the fact that not only is Dave Filoni's stock rising in a tremendous way at Disney and Lucasfilm, but maybe they're not like, I think they're appreciative of Jon Favreau. They like being in the Jon Favreau business. Maybe not as smitten with Jon Favreau as they were 3 or 4 years ago.
I don't think so. I think Favreau's happy where he is. I mean, he's done a tremendous
Rebel Force Radio reported that there's friction between Jon Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy. We love Rebel Force Radio, of course. Is there any truth to that, Jared?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, then, is this why he's gotten shelved a little bit, maybe? Or has he gotten sidelined and Filoni's gotten basically this over him? They passed over Jon Favreau for Filoni because of maybe some lingering tension.
I honestly don't know. I feel like Jon Favreau is the kind of guy that could probably go above her head to Bob and say, I want X, Y, and Z. I've created your biggest property on your streaming service. I'm the one who launched your streaming service. I want X, Y, and Z. Give me what I want. And Bob would probably be more than happy to give it to him.
It's going to be interesting to find out. So, which one of these movies are you most excited for? Biblical Epic by James Mangold, the Rey movie, or the Dave Filoni movie where he will combine all of the Mandoverse?
That's a tough call. It's good. I'm equally excited for both Filoni and the
No. Pick one, you motherfucker.
I'll go with Mangold. Because we're going to see something that we've never seen before in the Star Wars universe.
I hate to agree with you, but I'm with you. I want to see this James Mangold movie first and foremost. This one actually really has me. And what I do like about what Disney's doing here is maybe, we're going to try a good movie. I believe the first one's scheduled for 2025, then it's 2027, then it's 29. I think Rey, though, is the first one. But what I like about that is every 2 years, to me, feels like that's good. Because you need, if you want a lot of Star Wars content, I agree, you got to do it more faster than George Lucas did it with, which was every 3 years. But when you do it once a year, when you have something like a Last Jedi that is really polarizing for the fans, a movie that comes out just 1 year later, let alone 5 months later, like Solo did for some fucking bizarre reason. But you need 2 years. You need a whole year of rewatching that Star Wars movie. And if it sucks, you need that full year to blast the shit out of it. And then the second year comes and you're like, okay, now I'm past that. I can look forward to the second one. And if you really like it, you need a whole year to go see it multiple times in the theater. See it over and over and over again. So, and then again, that second year comes and you're ready. You know what I'm saying?
Kinda. I think a lot times have changed.
How many times have changed?
Look, this is the way I've kind of felt with Marvel, is that Marvel has just churned out content, but I agree in the sense that it has to become an event again. Like going to see a Star Wars movie, I would say maybe once a year. I think the way that they had things originally planned out, where it was going to be like a saga movie every other year, and then like a standalone Star Wars movie in between, was the way to go.
The word on the street is two things must occur for Kathleen Kennedy. Otherwise, Bob Iger will be firing her. Number one.
Really?
Yes. Number one, the movie must come out in 2025. You know, because Iger knows what you just said. And that she makes these announcements and absolutely nothing happens. So he said a movie. He actually doesn't give a fuck what it is. He says a Star Wars movie must be here in 2025. A, and then B, it must be good for Kathleen Kennedy to keep her job.
Good.
I think the Rey movie is a very, very interesting roll of the dice. I would have went with the Mangold.
God.
I would have went with the biblical epic.
I probably would have gone with that too. That way I would have put I would have made the Filoni film the last one. That way we could squeeze as much of this Favreau Filoni verse out over the next 6 years as much as possible.
I agree. I agree with you. So we'll see what goes on with that. Ahsoka Tano gets a trailer.
Saw that. That was awesome.
Did you enjoy that trailer?
Yeah, I was
Thrawn.
I thought it was going to be Ray Stevenson, but they actually did bring in Lars
Mikkelsen. Yeah, the actor who voiced him on Star Wars Rebels. By the way, I've gone back just because of Ahsoka. I went back and rewatched all of it, season 4
of Rebels.
All of it, yes.
You know, they should have just called this Rebels 2.0 because that's
that's exactly why I went back and watched Rebels season 4. And let me tell you something, that was excellent.
Yeah, what?
Rebels season 4 is excellent. And then you have that war. Okay, so a couple takeaways: the world between worlds, where Ezra went to that weird, cool, like force, netherworld, where he rescued Ahsoka and stuff like that. That looks to be in the show, because not only is that in the poster, the world between worlds, like graphics, but that's where you saw the guy with the red lightsaber. Now, so who do you think that guy is?
He's apparently, it's like him and a woman are the Sith bad guys.
Is there any chance that somehow this is Ezra from the future, which is a rumor online?
I don't know.
From the future. And now Star Wars, like, because they've never really tapped into time travel that much.
You know,
but World Between Worlds is almost there. World Between Worlds was almost a time travel-y experience.
Yes, and I would say, like, this would be the opportunity to retcon, episode 8 and 9. Just saying.
That would be amazing.
If you really wanted to, like, do right by the fans, that would probably be the
right. How though?
Take a shit on it.
I'm saying how could you retcon episodes 8 and 9 with Ahsoka? You have Luke come out and kick some ass, and it's not that easy to do. Yeah,
give me some time. I probably could write something up. But
you're not like Darth David, though. I gave Bob Iger 2 movie ideas right here on this episode.
Well, I'd have to think about logistically how to make that happen. But I think personally that would be...
How do you logistically make a pitch happen? Here's what you do. You fucking speak into the microphone and you pitch it to Bob Iger. Which I just did.
That's not what I meant, David. That's not what I meant.
Huh. Acolyte. Early buzz at Star Wars Celebration. Maybe one of the things that was getting the most buzz at Star Wars Celebration. I don't know why they show trailers and graphics and artwork, and then they shut down the stream, or they black it out for us watching at home. I don't understand that, but I know you want to give people you want to give something special for the Star Wars Celebration crew, but at the same time, give us a little something with the Acolyte.
Well, the Acolyte's not supposed to come out till what, 2024?
Yeah, probably.
And then you still have Skeleton Crew, which is coming out before the Acolyte.
Not a lot of they said they didn't show a lot of art or graphics or videos or clips or anything for Skeleton Crew.
They said I saw a video online where the guy said that they did show some footage of Skeleton Crew, but they didn't release any kind of trailer or anything like that for the public.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you excited for the Acolyte though?
I am. I really hope we're going to get to see a young Palpatine.
There's a chance. I'm not sure if we're going to see that. He might not be. He might just be like a little kid or a baby.
Well, we don't know how old. A, we don't know how old Palpatine really is.
I guess that's true.
And B, I want to also see Darth Plagueis. If this is supposed to take place 100 years,
that I would like. That I would like to see.
Before the events of Episode 1, I want to see Darth Plagueis. I want to see him, and I want to see him fuck shit up.
Oh, whoa! All right. Kathleen Kennedy says Kevin Feige never truly had a Star Wars project. She says, "Hey, Kevin's a big Star Wars fan. We're all ears, and if he has an idea, we'll listen to him." But he was never really given a project. That seems a little bullshitty because they had a fucking announcement and they're trying to make us all feel crazy. They had an announcement that Kevin Feige would be joining Lucasfilm. They gave that announcement.
Dude, I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm just saying this is odd. This is an odd fucking.
I think from an organizational standpoint, Kathleen Kennedy may be in a lot more hot water. I mean, like if Bob Iger, despite all the success that the television division has had, and how much hype up between Ahsoka and this Acolyte is getting, she's still in hot water.
Oh, listen. Kathleen Kennedy's in hot water because after Episode 9, she and the rest of Lucasfilm and Star Wars have been petrified to the point where they've been frozen for 4 years in not delivering a Star Wars movie. That's why Bob Iger's mad, because guess what they're leaving out? That's an annual $1 billion. You're leaving $1 billion.
That's $4 billion.
Right.
So by the time a movie comes out, you're looking at $6 billion.
I mean, this has been a bit of a fucking, a much bigger fuck up than I think people realize. It's why Bob Iger is fucking putting the fire to Kathleen Kennedy right now. Because he's like, we're okay, yes, make good streaming service programs, but the movies are how we make money.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. And some of these movies could have made $2 billion.
I know.
Avatar made $2 billion.
Understood. Jesus Christ, stop biting my fucking head off.
I'm not. You wanted me to talk loud? I'm talking loud.
I'll tell you one thing, motherfucker. You're real fucking strong when you're not sitting next to me. Now, next week, you're going to be sitting next to me. You're back here. What's with the fucking coughing? Can you drink some water? I've never seen someone who has worked in radio longer and still worse at it with just the basics.
I don't work in radio.
Yes, you fucking do. What do you think Yaddle Chattle is? A goddamn fancy a fucking thing of my imagination?
A hobby.
It's not a hobby. Fucking Darth David is a fucking professional broadcaster. The second you step in the arena with me, you're doing professional broadcasting shit. I'll tell you, next week, motherfucker, this goddamn lightsaber's got your name written on it.
Okay.
I'm going to do one of those beheading videos that were popular in 2005. My first job in radio, the nighttime DJ goes, "Here, come here, kid. Let me show you something." And I go, "Okay." And he's watching Iraqi beheading videos.
Jesus.
I'm like, "This is what radio is, mister?" Hi. So you're going to are you going to are you going to still come at me?
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking asshole. I'm going to turn it off now, okay? Listen to it. Listen to this.
Okay.
Did you hear that? Now, Jared, the other thing that Kathleen Kennedy said was that, whatchamacallit, Rogue Squadron, we discussed this earlier, but she said Rogue Squadron may happen, but she didn't sound very confident about it. She was like, oh, it hasn't been shelved. We just may use it in different areas. This is why I'm like, Kathleen, just fucking say it's dead and then repurpose that movie for a Poe movie. Jeez, this one's easy.
We're making a television show.
No, fuck the show. Movie. What did we just goddamn say? It's like you're a male Kathleen Kennedy over there. You just fucking disregarded the previous 5 minutes of Yaddle Chattle.
No,
movies.
Yeah, they already have 3 movies lined up. They're testing the waters again.
We need another one. I want movies.
You want. But you got to think about the fact that, you know, they're going to be spending anywhere between $300 and $500 million for a Star Wars film. It's got to be worthwhile, the investment.
It's going to be worthwhile. Even the only Star Wars movie that's ever underperformed at the box office was Solo, and that was all Kathleen Kennedy's fault. She bizarrely released Solo 5 months after The Last Jedi. And when The Last Jedi was as polarizing as it is, this is why I'm saying you need time between movies. That was one of the stupidest calls in the history of Star Wars right there. Hey, Jared.
Yes, David.
I'm wearing this coat for a reason today. Although now that I'm looking at myself, this might be my new Sith look. I might do the Star Wars t-shirt with the razzle dazzle jacket on top of it. I got a white one and a black one and a purple one too. I could change up my colors.
Okay.
But the reason why I'm dressed like this is because I usually don't put on this jacket unless I'm managing a champion or champions in professional wrestling.
Okay.
And it is time for me to discuss something. Tomorrow, Saturday, April 15th in Nutley, New Jersey, it's the IWF 26th anniversary event. Tickets at campiwf.com. And I've got a match, 2 matches.
Who are you wrestling?
And I'm New Jersey's greatest manager, stupid.
Oh.
I'm not going to let this gorgeous Sith face take any punches to it. You understand? This is the moneymaker for Yaddle Chattle. They certainly don't come for you. Physically, I'm saying. They certainly don't. No old lady says, I'm tuning into Yaddle Chattle for Jedi Jared. I'm the fucking breadwinner here. I'm the goddamn star. So I got to keep all my features nice and tidy. I don't go in the ring. I manage. Why?
Okay.
I'm smart, unlike you, who's got a lot of stupid chromosomes. I'm smart, and I'm going to get a whole bunch of championship gold on Saturday because my first match, I am managing the All-Americans, baby. Brian Atkins and Robert Atkins, the Atkins brothers, who did all things the right way. They were cookie cutter, milk white American. Ooh, we're good guys. We're good guys. We do things nice. We help people. We help old ladies, not get mugged. When I told them, you should be the ones who mug people. You should kick the old ladies. You need to be more aggressive. They started listening to me, and then who got a championship match? The Atkins brothers. They're going to be fighting the IWF Tag Team Champions in Kevin Knight and Live Wire Charles Gaston. And I guarantee you a victory. Okay? So, first we're going to get our championship gold with the All-Americans, Robert and Brian Atkins, when they defeat the Master of Chaos, Kevin Knight, and Live Wire Charles Gaston. And then we're going to get the gold, the World Championship gold, when my guy, rising superstar, Benjamin T. Asher, faces the mysterious, the ominous, the Dark Oracle, Sage.
Okay.
In the main event. And let me tell you something, my friend. You ever see Benjamin T. Asher fucking wrestle? The guy's like Spider-Man. You can't fucking catch him. Dark Oracle Sage. He walks around like his knees don't bend. The guy's stiff. How the hell is he going to put up with an athlete like Benjamin T. Asher? He ain't. Tickets at campiwf.com. Let me tell you something, and this is an absolute Davy Mac guarantee. On Saturday, April 15th in Nutley, New Jersey, the East Side Empire, which I represent, will take all of the gold at IWF. Now get out of my way. Are you going to be there?
No.
You piece of shit. Bobo and Andrew are coming. Bobo and Big A are coming.
Okay, great.
Why can't you support your Yaddle Chattle brethren?
I've been to a number of those. I'm the one who helped cut several wrestling promos for you.
That was 6 years ago, babe.
That wasn't 6 years ago.
My first event was 2017. That is when you fucking filmed it. That was a long time ago to be banking on that shit.
I filmed a bunch of them. I filmed one, in fact, when when did you wrestle Gilbert?
Jared, you're gonna have to stall for a second because someone's
I gotta
here.
Stretch. I gotta stretch.
Go ahead. No, I mean, okay, but also stretch verbally.
Well, since he's getting a plug in, I might as well plug something else. If you like history, you should check out the great, hilarious podcast called History Homos. They're available anywhere podcasts are available. And myself and super mega producer Bobby Tambora
I'm back.
Appear on it.
What's he talking about? Metalheads. Was he embarrassing the show? Because I feel like he was saying something stupid. Oh wait, hold on.
I was getting my plug in. I was plugging my friends.
Okay, you're plugging other shows?
Yeah.
Well, what's the show?
History Homos.
You know, you could have used that as an opportunity to plug our fucking brand new Patreon page, you fucking asshole.
I'm gonna do that. I do that at the end every time. But you can also check out patreon.com/EastsideDave because we've got this pretty cool show that's gonna come out relatively soon. Tales from the Satellite.
Within 2 weeks. We've promised April. We're not gonna tell you relatively soon. Don't put a fucking time limit on me. But we said April. We said April. We are going to do Tales from the Satellite. Will be released in April, where it's going to be a Q&A, a retrospective show, where we are going to discuss my 9, almost 10-year career at SiriusXM Satellite Radio. Obviously, between Ron and Fez, Opie and Anthony, Special Delivery starring Sam and Dave, and the Davey Mac Sports Program. Those are 4 shows, big-time shows that I was brilliantly a part of, each and every one of them. In fact, some would say maybe the star of all 4, now that I think about it. Opie and Anthony and Dave. I believe at one point that was being considered.
No, I'm pretty sure it was considered the Ron and Dave show.
Well, I was joking around, dickwad.
Oh,
fucking Fez just died. You know, let's a little respect.
I'm sorry.
By the way, the show will be hosted by Robert, just for that reason.
Okay.
Jared throws little fucking things like that, and I said, Jared, we want nothing to do with you being a part of it. I will say the show has been brilliantly set up by Robert, Jared, and Ron and Fez archivist. Okay, he's been tremendous as well. So those 3 guys have done a fantastic job. That show is coming to Patreon in April. Might be a couple weeks. I don't know. It's coming. It's going to be good. We have the first episode all ready to go, Daddy. We know exactly what we're going to do. I'll even tell you. I'll hook you into this. We're going to discuss the story arc, the storyline that culminated, if you will, to use a phrase from Kathleen Kennedy, in me shoving Fez's face into pizza. A very controversial incident in which I got many, many death threats and still get occasionally a death threat or 2 from a certain, screw loose individuals who don't realize that they're getting worked over. Hate to say that. You'll hear more.
That's at patreon.com/EastsideDave. Join now.
That's right.
April's edition, April's Tales from the Satellite for only $2.50.
Did you see the video of oh wait, you just got my show prep email. I don't know if Robert is there, but there was one video I wanted to put on screen.
Okay.
But I don't think that he can, so he's probably doing something else. But did you see the video of George Lucas? Did you see that?
No.
On Indiana Jones 4?
No. Can you do it in the George voice?
Yeah. No, hold on. Robert, if you're there, can you just click on that video? Because this is one that I want you to see. it was some guy who was secretly recording George Lucas online on Indiana Jones 4 getting food, just putting food on his plate. It was probably like the first time, like it was probably like early on in the cell phone, because I think Indy 4 came out in like 08. So maybe like the filming was like 06 or 07. So you're like getting into like, oh, I gotta watch this. Oh my God.
That basically predates smartphones. So you're doing it with like a flip phone.
What's that?
That like basically
hold on, keep going. I'm trying to communicate with Robert. I don't know if Robert's there, but if you're doing it, whatever you're doing, if you can just do the video. I know that we usually don't ask you to do it, but since Jared's here, because I'd really want to watch the video because it's great.
You can always come back to it if Bobby comes around. However,
it's in the I didn't send anyone the fucking show prep email. That's my fault. Robert, I'm sending it to you right now. It's just funny because George has quite the goddamn plate. Okay, I'll send it to you any way I can, bro.
Well, he was probably stressed out about how many CGI monkeys he wanted to use.
I'll tell you this. George eats very, very, very healthily, Jared, speak a little bit for fuck's sake. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do 8 fucking things here. Just talk.
Oh my God. Okay. For fuck's sakes, check out eastsidedave.com. eastsidedavecountry.com.
God, you suck.
I know.
You really suck. I'm asking for a little time so I can send him the video.
Okay, so I'll talk about the stuff I watched at Celebration.
Thank you.
I saw the interview with Carl Weathers, which was very interesting because he wants to direct more. He was talking about how he's ready and willing to direct.
Carl Weathers?
Yeah, he wants more behind the scenes responsibilities. He loves being involved. He loves Star Wars. This is more or less kind of rejuvenated his career.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. He has the big look. Now, if you can see George Lucas, he has a plate. I'm telling you what, man. The plate there was a ton of fucking food on that plate, dude. He's got the goddamn prongs going. He's putting all kinds of chicken on it. I then saw him get some salad. He then got some tomatoes and mozz. By the way, I love that too. Now, here's him getting some meatballs. I mean, this guy is going to town here.
I guess he's hungry.
Meatballs. I know, but that's a lot of tomatoes and mozz.
I've heard craft services is like incredible. And on a Lucas Spielberg production, craft service has to be like top notch.
Well, I'll give you one thing that I noticed about. And by the way, the funniest thing about the guy doing the video, look at him zoom in. The funniest thing about the guy doing the video is he does this voice where like he's speaking and he's just like, I know this is weird, but I just have to shoot him. It's like he's like the first ever like celebrity like paparazzi video. He doesn't know how to act. And he's like, I know this is weird, but I can't stop doing it. Oh, yeah, that's what he says. He goes, I know this is weird, but I can't stop doing it. He needs to see. And I'm happy because I like what George is doing. Look at all that food. I don't even think that's been the goddamn video, refreshing. I think he's still online.
Damn, George's got an appetite.
I think George hit like 8 buffet tables that day.
He's probably stress eating.
Let me see here. You guys got any mac and cheese or where's the is there an Oreos? Do we got, I'm putting a lot of pasta on my plate here.
He's carb loading.
Yeah, so there's the tomato and mozz. And then I feel like I'm one of those people who can put 19 pounds of food on my plate, but as long as I have a little Diet Coke or Diet Ginger Ale, I'm not going to get fat.
Okay, that's the way to go.
And does anyone can someone make me some French toast? Okay, that was a big thing that we were doing on Empire Strikes Back when Mark Hamill was talking to Yoda. I go, I seen Yoda eat one of those breadsticks from Mark Hamill. I go, I could use one of those French toast sticks. But we were filming Empire in London, and those limey bastards don't know how to cook at all. That's why their fucking teeth falls out of their head. We had to come back. I had to fly back to California, to Northern California, to the ranch to get some fucking proper French toast. Those people, the problem with British people is they don't understand. There's a thing called salt, you fucking limey bastards with the bad teeth. If you refrigerate and brush your teeth a little bit, you won't have your fucking teeth falling out of your head. Does anyone know if I can get some Jello? Is there any Jello around here? What the fuck is good with a buffet table if there's no Jello at the end of the meal? I mean, that's just kind of a standard thing that you do. You put Jello there.
God bless George. God bless.
I'm looking at any cookies. I need some cookies.
I love George so much. And I love that guy filmed him and that we're watching it and we're going. Poor George. He couldn't just have a nice, healthy plate. That was a lot of food, though.
He was a hungry guy. He's probably stress eating.
Now, did you see my jokes that I made? I did basically a comedy pyramid that's getting rave reviews. Which one do you like? I did based on that video. Just look at me. I'll read them to you.
Okay, hold on.
You don't need to hold on. There's nothing for you to.
I was
click
clicking
on.
I was clicking on the screen to go back.
You don't need to, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
These are the 5 things. One food title per movie, in chronological order. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Food. Oh wait, no, not in chronological order. That's the first one. That's of the Lost Ark.
Okay.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Okay.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Scone.
I love, scones and croissants and things like that. Northern California, they make
Pastries.
really wonderful pastries.
And then finally, for the new movie, Indiana Jones and the Diabetes of Destiny. Instead of Dial of Destiny.
I like that one. That one the best.
That one's your favorite.
Yes.
Okay, because the movie's brand new. I wasn't sure if how much up to speed people are even aware that Indiana Jones 5 is called the Dial of Destiny.
Well, if they don't know by now,
all right,
I don't know what to say.
Okay. So nothing for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which instead of Last Crusade, I thought that was very strong.
That would be probably the second one I like.
Yeah, you gave nothing to me. You fucking no-sold my ass when I did Indiana Jones Last Crusade. You fucking straight-faced me. I didn't know if I was doing the goddamn show with The Undertaker all of a sudden. The way you were just... And I try so hard. I've got a fancy jacket on for today's Yaddle Chattle. Do you think I'm good? I should continue with the fancy jackets and the Star Wars shirts. Should this be the new look of Darth David going forward?
Yes.
I think there's potential in this.
Oh, absolutely.
It's sad, we make small evolutions. It takes us, we've actually been doing Yaddle Chattle for now 1 full year.
I know.
It might even be our 1 year anniversary. This might be the episode.
We might be.
Done some. Can you ever do research for Yaddle Chattle?
Maybe.
I feel like you have an allergy for research.
I have allergies, period. So.
Okay.
You see, you caught whatever I had.
Listen, let's discuss. I know your fucking cough is contagious. Now I'm coughing, and I don't even know why or how. We're doing this on Zoom today. Next week, you're coming back. We're going to be doing it live from the Davey Mac Studios.
Yes.
All right. Mandalorian season 3, episode 7. Come on, man. If the fans can't get into this episode,
best episode of the season so far.
And one of the best, for me, one of the stronger episodes in Mandalorian history.
I would say easily top 5.
Had everything. The 53 minutes of running time is really what you want. With only eight episodes per season, when they drop down to the 30-minute episodes, you go, shit.
That's all he had in the can for that one episode. He's like, I'm done writing this.
There was great humor. Everything IG-12 now in Grogu. So they've carved out IG-11, put a little spot in there so that they could just dump Grogu into him, and he could drive him like a tractor. I fucking loved that.
That was
tremendous. And now Grogu can fight and shit if he wants to.
I think they're going to utilize him a lot more now.
Yeah, you have an opportunity to do a lot of... That was really brilliant. That was like putting Grogu in a fucking Iron Man suit or something.
Yeah.
I love that. There was great humor. There was great action.
I love the part when the little creature's getting out and Grogu wants to pet him again.
The little Babu freak, and he said, "You're a bad baby again."
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, "You're crazy. You're a bad baby. That was fantastic. We had, I loved the beginning of the episode. I mean, just listen, I thought this was a classic episode. What were some of your takeaways? We had the Bo-Katan stuff. She's coming in there. She's going on strong. We had those pirates. I loved those guys. I thought the ship looked really, really cool. Well, pirates or Mandalorian survivors, basically more of Mad Max post-apocalypse type stuff.
Oh yeah, I thought that was super cool. Yeah. I think the whole thing that everyone's kind of now starting to come together and rally to the cause.
And the another big thing that happened early on was that Imperial Shadow Council, him walking past those red gates into that special meeting with other Imperial warlords and whatnot. And I loved that meeting. And again, it's one of the things that I loved about Andor. And it goes all the way back to the very first film where they were in that, where they were having that meeting, that Imperial meeting on the Death Star, on that round table, and people were debating and going back and forth, and the rebels are getting too strong, and no, come on, look at this fucking place. Look at the Death Star. No one's going to take us down. And they were having a debate. It was the very first movie that broke that out in Star Wars. And I think that's really, really cool. It always works for me. And I thought this was great. And by the way, Hux's dad, I guess?
Yeah. So that's supposed to be Hux's father.
I'm assuming.
Who's played by his brother.
Oh my God. That's the actor's brother?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Brian Gleason.
Wow. Okay, that's crazy. Well, I loved that. I thought that was cool. I loved seeing him and then seeing that old Imperial with the mustache. Wasn't he from Clone Wars or Rebels or something? Or am I just thinking, because they tended to have a lot of Imperial gray mustache guys in some of those shows.
Was that the big guy that's been there throughout Clone Wars? He was always like the admiral of the.
That's what I was thinking. He looked familiar. I am such a fan of Moff Gideon, and I don't know if this is what they've decided to do, but it's kind of like we bring out the big superstar in the main event. They did season 1, Moff Gideon, last 2 episodes. Season 2, Moff Gideon, last 2 episodes. And season 3, Moff Gideon, last 2 episodes. They have a game plan. I guess they feel like if they put too much Gideon too early, that people will be a little bit sick and tired of him. And I got to say, it's not the worst strategy. I was pumped when we first saw him. First, we saw him in hologram, and then when we saw him walk through, oh my God, those red gates that opened up for him, like that shit was awesome. I love Moff Gideon.
I like the whole. I think what we're going to start to see is there's going to be a huge power dynamic because Gideon wants to be in charge, and there's a few people that back him. So we're kind of getting into this almost Game of Thrones-esque power struggle because there's clearly people who have Thrawn as their guy who's supposed to be heir to the Empire.
Oh yeah.
So I think I think Favreau and Filoni are gonna definitely dig into the whole Timothy Zahn trilogy.
They have brilliantly set up the fact that Gideon and Thrawn will be rivals. Okay, Thrawn is Gideon is these guys are going for the same exact position. I mean, they're both literally they don't. Do you think Gideon knows that the Emperor is out there? Is either Gideon or Thrawn working with the Emperor? Obviously, I'm saying when we see Thrawn in Ahsoka.
I think it's not so much about working with the Emperor, it's who's loyal to the Emperor. Because that was the whole thing where he brought up that doctor guy. He was the chief cloner. And there are people that are still technically loyal to the Emperor. Gideon has no loyalty to the Emperor. He wants to sabotage any kind of opportunity there is to bring back the Emperor.
Fair enough.
He wants to be the guy.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if Thrawn is still loyal to the Emperor, or does he want his own thing like Moff Gideon?
Okay. All right. What else occurred? I mean, are we still good with Bo-Katan getting that Darksaber so quickly?
There seemed to be some controversy. A lot of people thought it was like some kind of cop out, but it's like,
yeah, people did think it was a cop out. What I'm saying is, I'm still not sure if we're out of the woods with Bo-Katan and Din Djarin. If there's some sort of conflict, even if it's a conflict that they don't want to have, but it's just destiny forcing them to oppose each other. I don't think so. Think that we're out of it. The other thing that is getting
did he straight up say though that like he's here to serve her, like he
said that, but she might be like, everyone knows that this guy is probably the real honorable one. He was the one taken by the mythosaur in episode 2, not her. That to me implies that he might be some kind of chosen one. Now, the other thing that the people are discussing is that the armorer, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Stanley Mack, Sith Stanley, my son, when you were absent that one episode, and I put Sith Stanley on the air for a little bit, and he made a prediction where he said the armorer will turn heel. She will betray them. I said, never going to happen. Well, guess what? Rumor is picking up a ton of traction. The armorer turning heel. The points that people are making is, from the Clone Wars, there were the things called the Mandalorians. They were the Mandalorians on Mandalore that followed Darth Maul when he went down there and began to rule. And they had little horns on their helmets. Both Moff Gideon on his Mandalore helmet had the little horns. So does the armorer from day one. Could she be a Maul? And she's played it perfectly. She's a Mandalorian. Because I'm as shocked as anyone. To me, the character has been simply too motherly to turn heel. But Jesus, that would be big. It's getting some traction. If Sith Stanley called this one, my God. I should instantly promote him to become the full-time co-host of Yaddle Chattle if this happens.
Okay. We'll fight you on that.
I know. You can never threaten Jared with like, we're going to replace you, because he's always looking for a reason to get replaced. He always, any show that I begin with Jared, he wants out immediately. This happens time and time again. Any fucking show that I begin with you, you're like, can I please stop showing up? Can we please end this series already? So what do you think? And then the ending, lots of action, monster.
That would be, first to address that point. That would be a really interesting like plot twist, because I feel like that would be a really long con game, and it would kind of make sense because the last episode was called Spies.
Plural, the Spies, correct? Because we have the girl at the beginning who, the one who works for Moff Gideon. So she's a spy, but it was Spies plural. Who's the other one?
I thought it was going to be the guy who was who had taken over for Bo-Katan on the fleet. I guess her brother. Is that her brother?
I don't know who that guy is. I know who you're talking about, the guy with the dark hair, the British accent guy.
Yeah, because he seemed to want to create a lot of unnecessary conflict when like the hardcore Mandalorians were like, okay, we're on board with this.
True. I don't know. It's a good question.
And then I thought that was it. It's Paz Vizsla, right?
Yes.
I thought he was going to turn heel. Like he's like telling Bo-Katan, "Hey, get out of here, get out of here," and then like, "Oh, I'm going to make it look like I'm sacrificing."
They did him perfectly. They were setting it up to look like he would go heel, which is why he never went heel. Let's talk about that, and then we're going to be wrapping up Yaddle soon. Paz Vizsla dead at the age of 42. Very sad. Killed by the Praetorian Guard. It was amazing that he got out of that scrape that he was in, where he was outnumbered at least 70-1 with, all these, Mandalorian type stormtroopers who can fly and shoot and stuff. And he was tearing him down. And I thought the special effects looked great when he was holding the huge gun and picking them off out of the air. I thought special effects wise, whoa, that's awesome. That looked tremendous to me. Make no mistake about it. They've put money in the special effects. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
The show looks great. But then after he kills all of the stormtroopers and you think he's out of it, here comes the Praetorian Guard. What do you think about that?
I thought that was pretty fucking cool.
I wasn't sure though why they were around. Unless that is the Emperor's Guard transitioning into the Praetorian Guard.
I think that they have to start setting everything up and create the backstory into episode 7. So they're backfilling everything. So like, okay, we'll create the Praetorian Guard. But you're starting to see that a lot of the stuff that's coming now is coming from Mandalore.
Yeah. So I love the episode.
I thought it was great. I thought it was the best episode of so far.
I thought it was tremendous. And it's why I understand that episode 6 was a little bit weird. Jack Black and Lizzo, it was a little bit odd, but people were, freaking out, you read the bloggers, you even read quote unquote film critics, movie critics, television critics, people who do this for a living, who were saying stupid shit. Like, this is the end of The Mandalorian.
But you know what, Dave?
Why do you say that when you have 2 episodes left and based on previous seasons, the final 2 episodes of Mando are always great?
You know what I think it is? I think you nailed it 100% when we kicked off season 3. People already had made their minds about Mandalorian.
People came into this show ready to put the boots to the Mandalorian, and that is why I do not respect a lot of the critics out there. Except for G-Baby. Jermaine Lassier is always open-minded. He's different, but there's a lot that I can tell. They come in, for whatever reason, we can't like different things at the same time. It's always got to be in American society. It's either or. If I like the new Spider-Man movie, it makes me then have to hate the other movies. It's a very weird thing that we can't like multiple things. And these critics were loving Andor and coming in saying, well, Andor's the new future. Fuck the Mandalorian. It's old fashioned now. Stop it. Star Wars should exist with Lucasfilm giving the most talented people in the world movies or TV shows, and they bring their vision to Star Wars. A la Tony Gilroy on one hand and a la Jon Favreau on the other hand. They're different type of filmmakers and storytellers.
But don't you think it's a little weird that they're all saying the same thing?
100%. They're not imagining.
Like,
dude, listen, a lot of these critics, they regurgitate each other, and or there just becomes this weird thing of this is the narrative. And the narrative, I could sense it.
I think it's more
the second Andor wrapped. I fucking told everyone that this is going to present a problem for the Mandalorian, because you're going to have, not me, but people who are really, really temporary. They can only live exactly right now. So if they're watching Andor, they're like, everything needs to be Andor now because I'm having fun now, and now I need everything to be like that. And I will remind Andor fans, you're not getting the space aliens. You're not getting Grogu. You're not getting the fucking IG-11 or 12. You're not getting a ton of fun Star Wars shit. And then Mandalorian fans get a ton of Star Wars shit, but maybe you don't get the psychology and paranoia of Andor. That's fine. Different shows do different things. What the shit? This season has been great.
It has been.
I know that they've had an uneven episode or 2. And I know Jack Black and Lizzo were a bit distracting last week. I understand. But overall, the show's been good. And where did you find that Jon Favreau said he wrote these both of these seasons together, seasons 3 and 4?
I didn't see that he wrote them together, but at the beginning of season 3, he was like, I have season 4 all written out.
Okay, so this is my point. I'm not looking at this as, hey, we just watched the second to last episode of the season and I'm all depressed. I'm looking at this as we just saw episode 7 of 16. I believe that Jon Favreau now has shown, and this is another example that He is telling stories in 2-season arcs. It was the Grogu Din Djarin thing was a 2-season story arc, 16 episodes. He's just doing it again. And so we're on episode 7 of 16. That's why you shouldn't panic. Things are good. Episode 4. Listen, the one thing Jon Favreau, in my opinion, has proven time and time again is he's a believer in the payoff.
Yeah.
He doesn't string people along. He gives you stuff. So just chill. This might have been a longer season in terms of setting shit up, because I believe in my heart season 4 will be unbelievable with the payoffs.
How do people literally forget the fact that the last 5 minutes of Mandalorian,
Season 2,
the season finale of season 2 was probably one of the greatest things to ever come out in 40 plus years.
Yeah, ever with Star Wars. It was one of the great. That was actually a legit TV moment, like Game of Thrones Red Wedding type stuff. And so you heard, I remember it being buzzed, and they're buzzed and buzzed. I mean, God, fucking Luke Skywalker. Did you see what they did with Luke? It was incredible.
I texted you. I texted my buddy Gio. I was like, holy shit. I can't believe that just fucking happened.
Amazing.
That was because it was so fucking cool. I don't understand why people can't just enjoy it.
I don't know either.
I don't know. It's not bad. It's really good. And there's so much depth.
It's great.
And it's multi-layered, and he's telling different stories. And, there's so much more to he's putting effort into it.
I agree.
You can tell that he cares about these characters and the Star Wars universe. And people are just like, well, Jack Black and Lizzo were in an episode, so we're going to shit on the rest of the series.
I know. All right, let's do a fast Star Wars cage match. Fast, and then we get out of here.
Okay, fine. Rey versus Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Rey versus Obi-Wan Kenobi. You must be joking. Rey versus Obi-Wan Kenobi is what that's the fight you've presented in front. Obi-Wan Kenobi would fucking tear Rey's arms off like he was a Wookiee.
You think so?
Oh my God. This guy has fucking battled Anakin / Darth Vader. This guy's battled, he defeated Grievous. This guy's defeated. What are you talking? Yes. Obi-Wan Kenobi easily would defeat Rey in a cage match.
The minute she picks up a lightsaber, beats the crap out of Kylo Ren, who was trained by Luke Skywalker, who is the grandson of.
Yeah, but Luke did a shitty job. Luke did a shitty job. Just because you're trained by Luke Skywalker doesn't mean it did a good job. Hell, Obi-Wan Kenobi said he did a bad job with Anakin. I thought I could teach him as well as Yoda. I was wrong. I was drunk. It was a very dark time when you live for 20 years in a cave on Tatooine.
But it turns out he didn't live 22 years. See, and that was something we didn't talk about.
When you live on Tatooine for 20 years, whether it's in a cave or a shitty little apartment that I carved out for myself, the point is you really have not a lot to do except go to the cantina and day drink, which is what I've done.
I was kind of disappointed that they didn't announce an Obi-Wan season 2. I really enjoyed Obi-Wan.
I did too. I told you, I think they should make a Vader series or a Vader movie.
I'd like to, whatever. I just want it to be good.
Don't you whatever me, pal.
I'll consume it. It's just got to be good.
Did you just fucking whatever me?
No, I didn't whatever you, but we also didn't talk about the best news of all.
What?
Or we didn't really go into it. The last season of the Bad Batch, how they're ending it.
You know what? I'm enjoying this episode. I'm having a pleasant time. Do we have to?
No, I'm just saying that's great news.
Real quick, they made the announcement, Star Wars Celebration, that they will do the third and final season of the Bad Batch. I was happy for that. I guess we'll make a decision right now. Will we cover Bad Batch season 3?
No.
We're not going to watch it?
Do you want to watch?
I think we have to now.
Do you really want to make our because now you got to start thinking about our listeners.
No, I know, but we can't ignore it now. But if it's been announced that it's the final season, I can do it. I can put up with. I can torture myself again because I just think that it is a big time Star Wars, animated series. We should be discussing this.
Yeah, but do you really want to torture our listeners and viewers by like crucifying it
We won't torture them. We will always entertain. The Bad Batch themselves may torture them.
Okay.
When the show sucks, they're doing the tortures. We're just commenting in an entertaining style about how torturous the program is.
I'm just
Jared,
saying
that's
it might become repetitive. That's all I'm saying.
You might become repetitive. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I want to repeat once again. Tomorrow in Nutley, New Jersey. Okay, that's Saturday, April 15th in Nutley, New Jersey. The Eastside Empire is taking all of the goddamn gold in the Independent Wrestling Federation. My tag team, the All-Americans, Brian and Robert Atkins, will defeat the Master of Chaos, Kevin Knight, and Live Wire, Charles Gaston, for the IWF Tag Team Championships. I guarantee it. Okay? I guarantee it. Shit, Bobo's going to be there. Big A's going to be there. I'll let them kiss me on the mouth if my guys lose.
Okay.
And then in the main event, my insanely talented rising megastar, Benjamin T. Asher, will take down, yes, he's big, he's imposing, he's mysterious, but the immobile Dark Oracle Sage. And my man, Benjamin T. Asher, will win the IWF World Championship. We're taking all the gold on Saturday. Okay? As far as we're concerned, thank you for the episode, Jared.
Thank you, David.
Next week you're back?
Yes, I'll be back.
In the Mac Studios?
Yes. I don't I think Bobby messaged something about playing music. So
yeah, I'm gonna I'll play it on low volume, and then I will just fade out with the music. Okay. Got to thank Robert for producing this show live. It wasn't supposed to happen. We were going to have just our regular Thursday recording date, but the Dave man needed to
day drink.
Unwind. I deserved it. I was taking advantage of a company party. They were like, you have unlimited blue moons. I go, don't say that fucking word if you don't mean it. Because I will utilize that word unlimited to its maximum potential.
I know.
I went back every 7 minutes. Can you refill this glass? They're like, this was supposed to be just like a fun activity for the. I go, I know. Just refill it. Let's go.
I am having fun. Give me more.
Yeah, it's really fun. Let's go. It's going to be even more fun when you refill the glass. It's less fun when you quibble about how many refills. You said unlimited, not me. All right, Jared.
Yes.
Next week you're back. And yes. Robert, thank you. Jared, thank you. Hey, in my opinion, Mandalorian going strong. I'm loving it. I'm loving Star Wars right now. I think the 3 movie announcements are excellent. And I am really, really pumped up and excited. I'm feeling very optimistic as a Star Wars fan. The combination of the Mandalorian past episode and the new movie announcements has got me pretty psyched. So that'll do it. Okay. Next week, Yaddle Chattle is back. Big episode as we will discuss the season finale of The Mandalorian. Until then, he's Jedi Jared. I'm Darth David. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.